What's the truth?
What's the truth?
What is the truth? I see truth.
Well, what do you see? What's going on here?
Oh, harvesting.
What are they harvesting?
Animals.
Animals. Yeah, they're. I guess you could say that. That's like a euphemism we use, really, right? Harvesting, like we harvest animals, but they're not really harvested, are they? We really breed them, right?
Well said.
So these are all just video images of.
So who are you with, though? What organization?
We're called Anonymous for the Voiceless, and this is called a Cube of Truth. And what we're showing here are all just standard practices of the animal agriculture industry, like where 99% of animal food and products come from, to try and have some conversations about it and maybe help people make more informed decisions.
Time to move away from the animal product industry.
Yeah, that's right, man. I hear that.
So like Tyson. Those
Sorry, I
kind of,
thought
like,
he was
big
with you
farms.
guys here.
Don't know him.
I'm sorry.
But just like Tyson, like those big name like farms. Is that kind of what you're?
Really, all animal agriculture. I mean, factually, in
so
America.
Like free range, like are you promoting veganism?
Actually, all these people here, we're all vegan. Okay. None of us, I don't think any of us here were not too long ago, but we all have changed for various reasons. It's an interesting thing, this family farm thing or local talk. I grew up in a farming family, and not so long ago, it used to be drastically different in the American farming industry. It was all small farms. Something like 75% of Americans believe that what they're eating and they're buying comes from like happy farms.
Right.
But actually, 99% of it comes from this right here, a big machine.
I'm sure. I mean, my mother-in-law lives in Arkansas, and to get to her house, we go by Tyson.
Oh, really?
So just seeing like all the animal, and I eat meat, I eat eggs, eat cheese, whatever. But just seeing all those chickens shoved in these little tiny. I mean, it's
pretty
you
horrifying.
Do that to humans,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I see both sides of it.
Or like a cat or a dog, right?
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. But
Do you think you can be happy and healthy without eating animal products?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I feed my family. Like I'm the one that feed. Like,
You're the provider.
I buy the groceries. I do the cooking. So I don't know. I think on some level, yeah, I could. But feeding a family who's all very active, like that's where the nutritional aspect gets kind of fuzzy. Like how much are they getting the right
super
proteins?
fuzzy.
Are they getting the right fats? Like all that kind of stuff.
What nutrients would you say that you get from animals, eating animal products?
I mean, protein.
Protein.
Yeah.
I found it surprising to find out that like every plant has a mixture of all the amino acids that we need. The amino acids that make up proteins.
Right.
And it turns out, it turns out that in the American diet, even people that eat meat get like 2/3 of their protein from plants.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's just the part where I'm not up to speed on the nutritional side of it.
That was my first concern was protein.
Yeah.
Because my wife made this change first.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, first she quit dairy. I was like, fine, whatever. I'm gonna keep eating my cheese.
Yeah.
And then she said, I'm gonna stop eating all animal products. And I felt fearful. I thought, like, she's like not thinking something through. She read something on the internet, and I don't think she's really studied this.
Right.
But she showed me one thing, and that it kind of took me down a rabbit hole. But I believe it was formerly called the American Dietetics Association, which now it's called, I can't think of the name, but it's the largest and most respected dietary association on the planet, along with the British Dietary Association, has released papers stating that any human in all stages of life, whether it be pregnancy, the elderly, or newborn babies, can live and thrive on a diet devoid of all animal products. In fact, they've gone so far as to say that the more animal products we eat, the less healthy we can expect to be.
Well, it's definitely easier now than ever before to not eat meat because there's so many products that are non-dairy. Like I had non-dairy feta.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
And it tasted amazing. I loved it.
Cool.
So
who makes that?
I don't know. It came like in this meal that I purchased for lunch.
That's funny. We used to be like totally hung up on feta cheese, and it was, I don't know why we'd say this, but we'd always say fecal cheese because it was like kind of funny.
Yeah.
And that was before I like knew a couple things about dairy, which I didn't know. That it turns out there's like a lot of nasty things in it.
Yeah.
But I used to love that stuff. I'm gonna have to look for that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these like newer markets have it, but so no, I think it's easier now to go go without meat.
Have you guys ever seen any footage like this?
This is terrible.
Do you know what's happening here?
Oh my gosh. It is really horrible.
It is horrible. What do you think's happening there? What is this?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they're getting. I mean, why would they do that?
This is actually footage from what happens in the egg industry. And the thing is even if you have like lovely backyard chickens that you consider as like pets, when you go to the farm store to buy chicks, usually you buy mostly females, maybe a single rooster, but in the egg industry, they don't really need male chickens.
Yeah.
So male chickens have been bred so that you can easily identify them the minute they hatch to see if it's a boy or a girl. And so a boy chicken is useless to the egg industry. So they have people that the minute that they hatch at the hatchery, they're just plucking them out and throwing them down a chute. And then those chicks on their first day of life, they usually go into a macerator like that. Or it's perfectly legal also to just throw them in a garbage bag, and they tie the garbage bag up and throw it in the trash, suffocate them. I've seen one guy talk about a place he worked at where they just had like a pool of water they'd throw them in, they'd drown in there.
So what do they do with the waste?
It's just garbage, they just throw it out. A lot of people ask, well, why don't they raise the boys and then you could eat them? But the thing is broiler chickens are a completely different breed that have been manipulated to grow extremely fast.
Yeah.
And if you look into it, it's actually like monstrously fast how quickly they plump up. They grow so fat that, or so plump that they usually can't even walk, and they frequently break their legs or like starve because they can't walk to the food. So the chicks that are born in the egg industry, if they're a boy, they're just garbage. So they get tossed out.
You're never gonna get me together. She's borderline as it is now with me.
You're borderline
with meat.
With meat,
not
okay.
A big meat lover.
Yeah, that's cool. I think when I was a kid, I grew up in Wisconsin, and everything was like meat and cheese, and especially cheese, tons of dairy. And when my parents would have steak and stuff, I always felt squeamish because maybe at some point I crunched on something, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
And my mom worked in the emergency room too, so I think maybe thoughts of bodies were in my head, but I always felt squeamish about it. But then I learned to like it, which is weird.
Well, it's cool that you guys are doing this, just to kind of get people's mind thinking.
Yeah, it feels good to me. A lot of people tell us after seeing this that it's changed their mind, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Given that most people are just like yourselves, they see this and it's horrifying. What do you think the reason is that this keeps happening? That they keep doing this?
It's people keep eating it.
Yeah, supply and demand, right? It's because we keep buying it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you believe that's true then, that we could live happily without meat in our diet?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just a learning curve.
Yeah, we definitely can't just take all the animal products out and then just eat crackers or something, right?
And it's not as convenient because, you don't have vegan fast food.
Yes.
There's just not that. There's not that quick, instant grab and
Although it's happening now.
It's starting to.
Impossible Whopper at Burger King. I saw.
Yes.
I think is it Dunkin' Donuts
I don't know.
has. I think it's Dunkin' Donuts has. They just introduced the what's it called? Impossible sausage or
I
something.
haven't heard about that. I mean, I know Burger King did it, and I know there's products you can buy. But
Yeah.
as far as that quick.
What would you say is more? What would you say is more important to you, like convenience or an animal's life?
I mean, I want to say the animal's life, and we're not. I mean, I'm not like a super big fast food person, but it's just, like their school. It's not vegan based. Like they'd have to, and they do. They pack their lunches now, but it's that extra step, and I think that's what creates the backlog of people sticking to.
Yeah, like you have to have something sustainable, right? You have to find enough good things that you can eat, that you're not going to be hungry.
And you have to be motivated to make the effort to pack that lunch versus buying X, Y, or Z out. I mean, it's just that extra. It's another layer of thinking. It's another way of thinking about it.
Do you think you guys could do that?
Yeah.
What do you think would be your biggest hang-up?
Probably me just buying the stuff in the house to have.
Just like learning the new stuff to buy, right?
Yeah.
For my wife and I, now we mostly eat just like whole vegetable and plant foods. But like making the transition, I always felt like, oh, we're just eating like a side dish, and it didn't feel like enough, and I didn't realize I'll have to eat more.
Yeah.
And I had to get it in my head that, oh, this isn't really a side dish. This is like what I eat now. But there was this one product that it seems like they have it everywhere, and they have a whole bunch of other ones as well. But what's it called? Sorry, I'm kind of spaced out. We just came from a Thanksgiving party, and I just like stuffed myself. Gardein make these frozen plant meat products that are in most decent-sized brochures like Publix or Winn-Dixie or Walmart. They have these packages of any kind of meat you can imagine, really. They even have fish. They have like several different kinds of chicken, beef, and it's all plant-based. So no cholesterol. It's probably not the most healthy stuff for you compared to eating just plants, but it's like way healthier than eating body parts.
Yeah. I'll have to look for it.
If you're interested, do you think you'd give it a try? Cool. We try to, give people some actual information here. There are 2 programs here. Are you on Facebook at all? If you're on Facebook, this one called Challenge 22, this vegan22.com, it's free, and you can do it as many times as you want. If you find you're busy or it's not working out, you can do it again later. But they have professional dietitians on staff to answer any kind of questions you have about like iron, calcium, B12, protein, and they'll give you educated answers on that stuff. But they also give you recipes every day, and then people trade recipes and talk about the things they made and stuff too. And the idea is, they call it Challenge 22 because psychologists have shown that it takes like 21 days to change any habit. I just quit drinking. I used to drink like a beer or 2 a day, and I found like the same thing was true for that. Like after a few weeks, it's like I just stopped wanting a beer. I don't really miss it at all. But it's the same thing with food. You just have to introduce the new things, and if you can keep those things out of your diet for a few weeks, all of a sudden it's like you got it all figured out and it just works.
No, I believe that.
There's another one here. It's called kickstart.pcrm.org, and that's from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine.
Okay.
And this one is it's like a little bit more sophisticated version of Challenge 22. Challenge 22 is more like a forum where you get to communicate with people a lot.
Right.
And I actually haven't tried this one, but I know when you go on there, they just have like beautiful views of like great stuff to eat, and they list out all the ingredients that you need to buy from the store.
Yeah.
And the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, they've just like done some amazing things in the food industry.
Okay.
Like they changed the food pyramid thing, or the plate. They've gone to Washington and addressed some of these things on a really big scale.
That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'll look into it.
Cool. And then, do you guys have Netflix?
Yes.
There's some great movies on Netflix. What the Hell? That one really just changed my life. That's like about plant-based eating. cowspiracy. That's like how it affects the environment. It doesn't have all this nasty stuff in it, really. There's one other one I'm going to write on here. It's called The Game Changers.
My sister just watched that one.
Yeah?
She referred, she was telling me I should watch it.
It's a great movie. I mean, it's like, it has all the same information, but it has like a whole bunch of leading athletes that are plant-based, that are like changing the world. Like one of the world's strongest men, Patrick Baboumian's in it. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a spokesperson in it.
Okay.
Scott Urich, who ran like the Appalachian Trail in like 44 days or something on a vegan diet.
Yeah, it says a lot.
It does, yeah. Cool, what's your names?
Sam.
Sam, I'm Scott.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Aiden.
Aiden, nice to meet you.
Erica.
Erica, nice to meet you. Cool.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Would you guys like a card too? There you go. Share it with your friends.
Thank you. Well, good luck today.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for caring, guys. Have a good evening.